talk about how to remove that Christmas tree out of your house without making a mess.
Okay, so you've got the tree out of the house, along with most of those needles. We'll give you ideas to keep it out of the landfill.
Then we're going to talk about, is it time to pull the plug on your poinsettias?
In our fourth segment, we're going to talk about replacing the artificial Christmas tree.
In our final segment, we're going to talk about what to do with wreaths and roping and decorations and how not to make it too much of a burden.
So stay tuned, and we'll be back after this short break. Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomers Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel-Proof Feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomers Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomers Blend. Bloomers Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomers Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomers Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomers Blend Songbird Magnet Mix. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
We're back, folks. Len, did you get your Christmas tree down yet, or are you still up?
It's still up.
Still up?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right. I did the exact opposite of what we've told everybody on the radio to do. Let's just say it was an experiment.
Okay, it was. Okay.
Yeah, sure it was.
Yeah.
First of all, every week we talk about my daughter Melissa.
That's right.
She did wilt stop, sprayed it down with wilt stop.
Uh-huh.
She has Prolong in the stand, kept water in the stand, and that their tree is like perfect.
Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
She took your advice.
She did. And it's pliable. There's every needle's still on the tree.
Right.
And her dad did everything that could possibly be forbidden to take care of the tree.
Oh, man.
Busy lifestyle. But what happened is that my stand was raised above the line where you would fill it with water. So I could never keep enough water in the stand. Oh. And I have to bend my stand to fix it for next year.
For next year, yeah.
Yes. So like when the dogs walk by.
Right.
There's a bunch of needles that stick to the dogs as they go by. The tree's safe, but it just...
so it's still up.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Oh, it's bad.
And that I want to talk to that person out there that doesn't want to do a live tree because of the problems that I had. Because if you take it down, as they're called, or a shaker, and it just rains down needles. So you've got to take it out of the house, and you've got to be smart on how you do it, and then you'll be okay.
Be okay.
If you just want to grab it and take it out of the front door, you're going to have needles till June.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be all over the place.
All right.
Oh, my.
So, Wally, what's the first thing that I should do? Because I do have water in the stand. It's just not the trunk was sitting in it.
It's dry.
Right. You got to be careful that you don't spill that water.
Right. You do.
Right?
That's right. Well, the first thing, Lan, you should have, I don't know if you have it or not, a tree bag. That would be a great help.
Right.
That way all the needles fall in the bag.
Yep.
And,
now, you want to put that around the base and then pull it up.
Pull it up.
Yep. Just pull it up around the tree, and then you take it out of the house that way.
Right.
Now, the problem that I have is that my branches are pretty stiff, and it's going to tear that bag.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So here's what I have to do. And I also have one of those drilled stands.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
it's stuck in there, you say?
It is.
Okay.
It's stuck in there. And so what happens is I got to be careful that I don't spill the water, but I got a big tarp.
Oh, you put a big tarp in.
You put a big tarp, lay it onto the tarp, and get some help, and then cradle it and drag it so that it's folded on top of the tree, so you're not leaving a trail of needles through your home.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and don't skimp. I mean, get a tarp that's going to be big,
you can always use it later on, right?
Absolutely. Most people have got a tarp laying around someplace. Painting, drop cloth, anything like that will work. So you're going to lay it into that and cradle there so that you're holding the ends so that you don't drag the needles and drop the needles all through your house.
Now, can you do this by yourself or you need help?
No, you're going to need help.
Oh, okay.
If you try to do it, it's going to end up where it unfolds and those needles are going to get all over the place. So get yourself a hand, grab the corners, bring it out that way. Okay. And it's just you need kind of like a spotter. To make sure it's like, hey, wait a minute. You're dropping needles.
That's right.
And then once you get it outside the house, you're good.
You're good to go.
You're good to go.
There you go. We love that.
That's right. That's right. And you did not get a tree this year, right?
No, I did. I was on a budget, and I said, I guess I'm going to have to cut the tree this year and not have it.
Shame on you.
I know. It felt kind of empty and didn't smell as good either.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So now, I know next year I'll get one.
A big question is, what do you do with all those needles? There should have some use.
Yeah.
If you have azaleas or rhododendrons or other evergreens, you can use that as a base underneath those, and just sweep them up, put them on underneath those, and as they decompose, they actually will be an evergreen fertilizer for those plants.
There you go.
Nothing substantial, but it's something that's not going to hurt.
Not going to hurt it.
No. It'll adjust the pH to a little more acidic, which those plants like.
That's right. Yeah,
and now you don't have to just put them into the landfill.
So it's a recycling kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. And the one thing, like you have a new stand that you got.
Brand new.
So it's brand new. So some people have some old stands. Now at Bloomers, we put the stand right on the tree, so we get to see all those beauties that come in.
That's right.
Some it's like, wait a minute.
20 years old.
Yeah, it's like, the stand, I'm pretty sure it's rusted through.
Yeah, it has.
But that's one thing to do is when you take your stand and you take the tree off the stand, take a good look at it, just buy a thing of green spray paint, and get rid of some of that rust and spray it.
Right.
And so it's ready to go next year right away. Don't just throw it down in the basement or whatever storage area.
Or just get a brand new one and start all over again.
I'll tell you what, we're going to talk in a little bit about what to do with some of your artificial trees. But that's a different segment.
That's right.
And also that tree skirt. If you have pretty decorative tree skirt. Do you have a nice tree skirt?
I had it. Yeah, I had it upstairs. Yeah.
So it's time to launder that. Do it beforehand. It just is ready to go
for next year. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to do all of these things.
Yeah, you do. Huh?
I do. Hopefully that I can get that tree out of the house. And it is my fault that our tree was so dry because I just did not get the water to it when I could, And it was priority. It was like, oh boy, I got to do this, and I can't bend the stand back to the way it should be. I'm just going to leave it go. But I did fix an angel that was our tree topper.
Oh.
And that where it actually had animated wings, and that the wings flapped, and she kind of
look at that.
nodded her head from side to side. So if you guys have any of those types of things that like maybe need some attention,
that's right.
Put it on your workbench and get at it, because you want to store your things so that they're working.
That's right.
And if you're going crazy trying to figure out where that missing bulb is, just throw out the strand.
That's right.
You give it, 3 tries. 3 tries and then you're out.
You're out. You're done.
I guess, the incandescent lights have become so cheap, and LEDs don't have any issues with that, where they'll still light even if a bulb is missing. Yeah. So,
boy, how times have changed.
Upgrade.
Huh?
That's right. They really have. My gosh. I mean, there are special tools and everything else you use.
It's amazing.
not in our world. No, I don't have time for that. So it's just replace it.
Well, I hope you get every little needle out of your home, because I know how dry it must be. You told me it's brown.
It's bad. Walk in the room and all of a sudden the tree's moving. That if anybody has a tree like that, just make sure you're being careful with it. Don't try to light it. Don't try to save it. Keep the electric off of it. But I think that angel with her wings is making friction that it might start a fire.
That's right.
But any case, all right. So be careful getting your tree out, and we're going to have some advice what to do with your tree once you get it out of the house. Right after this.
Fertilome's all-purpose water-soluble plant food is a wonderful mix of the primary plant nutrients, which promotes vigorous blooms and lush green foliage. This chlorine-free and super-low salt triple 20 analysis is ideal for indoor and outdoor plants, particularly hanging baskets, houseplants, cactus, and especially succulents. You will notice a big difference in your plant's health and growth by using Fertilome's all-purpose water-soluble plant food 20-20-20. Find the nearest independent lawn and garden retailer by logging on to Fertilome.com. Look for the Find a Dealer tab in the upper right-hand corner and type in your zip code. Your plants will be glad you did. Available at
Russell Garden Center, 600 New Road, Churchville, PA. Your next houseplant is waiting for you in Bloomer's Home and Garden Center's greenhouse. Bloomers recognizes that houseplant choices are as important to your interior decorating as the fabric on your couch. The right plant, paired with the perfect container, can bring a dynamic change to your home. A houseplant brings life to your world and connects your home's interior to the greater outdoors. Even a small succulent placed on your coffee table has a way of connecting your living room to the Amazon rainforest. How about an air plant in your kitchen? Looking for an indoor flowering plant to add color to your plant palette? Bloomers has a large revolving assortment of flowering beauties, from aglaonemas to ZZ plants. Bloomers Greenhouse is stocked with your next favorite indoor plant. Bloomers carries a large selection of pottery and containers to match your home's decor and make any of your plants more beautiful. Bloomers experts can help you care for your plants and have the fertilizer, insecticides, leaf shine, and specialty soils you need to grow healthy and happy indoor plants. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center's greenhouse and make every room in your home a living room. Visit bloomers.com for more information. That's bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Well, welcome back, everybody. So you've got that Christmas tree out of the house.
Finally, huh?
All right, now what do you do with it?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, call your municipality. Ask them if they have a recycle program that most communities do. Pretty confident Washington Township does. Pittman?
Yes, they do.
They do. So they'll pick it up at the curb, and that they will recycle it either into mulch or something else. They'll use it for something. I know that down the shore, that in the shore communities, that they actually put them on the beach to retain the dunes.
Wow!
And that what happens is that sand will blow, and it'll collect around those trees, and it will create more dune for the beaches, and so it'll save the sand from just blowing away.
They're taking the whole tree.
They take the entire tree and they line them up along the beach. Okay, and along the dune, I should say, not the beach. Okay. And that the sand, as it blows in there, gets trapped. So then it's like a windbreak. And then by the time you get to the summertime, that there is no tree anymore. You don't see it because it's created basically a place for all the sand to collect. Right. So there's barely any branches that can be seen or anything else. So again,
it decomposes.
It just is hidden.
Oh, it's hidden. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Because it traps that sand.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yep, great idea. Great idea. It is, yeah. Also, you can use that the tree yourself if you go ahead and prune those branches. Right. And just use those branches as perennial plant, as far as a protection, like a good winter protection. We often talk about winter winds and how they can hurt plants and things. If you use those branches and put them in for the winter and just use the boughs to cover those plants, those sensitive plants, and it'll protect them from the wind. It'll also be a good thing for the for perennials that are in the ground, keeping them from getting too dried out.
Right. So you're cutting the actual branches.
Yep. Cut it right at the trunk.
At the trunk.
Right at the trunk. The other thing is to use those branches, whittle them down, and use them as plant supports.
Okay.
If they have a natural arch to them, so that they're oftentimes where you need a tripod, and that tripod can grow plants and interweave different vines and things through it, and that'll be a plant support that you can have. And even if your tomato plants or things like that, depending on how big your tree is, you can use it for that too.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Great, great idea.
Again, recycling the actual.
Yeah.
Actual plant.
And also just using, for larger plants, you just use the actual trunk of the tree itself. Right. And like, for instance, I have at home moonflower. I grow moonflower each year, and morning glories.
Morning glories, yes.
And that if you take the Christmas tree and the natural branches that have been cut off are going to leave like little nubs
on it,
that are perfect for those plants to intertwine and grab on and grow on.
That's great.
Same thing, for cucumbers and things like that. And after you do it for several years, you've got a collection of nice sturdy stalks that you can use each year.
That's great. Yeah. You told me last year to put mine out so the birds could go in there and hide a little
Absolutely.
bit. Yes.
Absolutely. That's one thing. We maybe touched on it last week when we were with Steve, talking about how recycling your Christmas tree by using it as a spot for certain birds to nest and to hide in from predators. I mean, we were talking about how cardinals like to go from the ground onto the feeder. They don't normally fly directly on the feeder and sit. But anyway, so there's some
a lot of uses, huh, lad?
Lots of uses.
Lots of uses.
Yeah,
I don't think about those things, but they are.
Yeah,
they're there.
Yeah, and it's simple, and it's a good way to recycle rather than just stick it in the landfill. We don't need anything else there.
No, we don't.
The best idea I saw was an organization that was called Canes for Veterans.
Canes for Veterans, huh? Wow.
Yeah. Oscar Morris was the man behind the original organization, and that the way that he said it, I loved it. He said, "One day, grab a cane and walk with it." Morris said, "You'll feel broken because others will see you as broken. Really? We make our canes for veterans to look cool while giving honor to their service."
How about that?
And here's what this is all about.
Right.
There are certain places where these guys operate. Like there's one in Texas. Now, we're not going to be sending our Christmas trees to Texas.
No.
But if there is a local chapter, like I know that there's 5 different ones right now.
Wow.
I'm hoping that to hear more about one, maybe starting a local chapter in this area.
Now, is this just started recently, right?
Fairly recent.
Yeah, okay.
Fairly recent. So what these guys do is they'll take the trees, take the branches off, and then they'll begin to make the canes for these veterans.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Now, the latest one that was canes for veterans in Central Texas, that in 2016 when Jamie Willis, he realized that he wasn't the only one who wanted a better cane, something that was sturdy, and as he called it, just not ugly. And,
That's great.
He started doing this, and again we go back to Morris, and he was a 50-year-old U.S. Army veteran,
right?
And that he was behind the original idea, and that he said Willis went and got in touch with him, and that he's the 5th veteran that he knows that had started and it's free canes for veterans. These guys don't charge for it either.
Wow.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
So these canes they're all made by hand.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all for use, right?
Oh, yeah. No. And what had started is that they didn't feel that the canes that they were getting, like from the VA, one, they didn't feel that they were sturdy enough.
No kidding.
And and I think what it comes down to, they just gave them, here's a cane, and it looked like, every other cane. And these guys are vets. They wanted something special.
A little special, yeah.
They also, didn't want to be, it's like, oh, look at that guy. Poor guy. He's got a cane.
These are a little different. Different.
It had some spirit behind it.
Yeah,
and
like
so,
that.
and that's where this all started. So
it's not like probably machine. They were probably machine made, the one that you see all the time. They're regular.
Well,
ones.
yeah, or typical metal with that
metal,
that stopper on it. But these are designed for each vet.
These guys,
and that they're given out free. So listen, if anybody's out there and they've heard of this group and they know of a local chapter, please let us know on the hotline.
Yes,
I want to know, is there any in the Delaware Valley that we just don't know about? Because again, it's been on the news about Texas, but again, we're looking for somebody close by that we can help support.
That's right.
Because I'll tell you what, it is a great idea to do with your Christmas tree. And I'll tell you what, I know that I would be bringing them to these veterans. And again, I don't think they want your Christmas tree. Shear all the branches off and bring them the pole that's left, right. And they'll work with it from there.
Great people here.
Isn't that a great idea?
Yep, I love it. Canes for veterans.
Canes for veterans. That's right. And I know that I could only find it through Facebook. But again, if anybody has any information out there about these guys,
let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. Yeah. We'd love to pass it along, especially if there's a group that's within the Delaware Valley.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
Coming up, we got another segment coming. Julio, should he stay or should we go now? My poinsettia.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. We'll be right back right after this. Your next houseplant is waiting for you in Bloomer's Home and Garden Center's greenhouse. Bloomers recognizes that houseplant choices are as important to your interior decorating as the fabric on your couch. The right plant, paired with the perfect container, can bring a dynamic change to your home. A houseplant brings life to your world and connects your home's interior to the greater outdoors. Even a small succulent placed on your coffee table has a way of connecting your living room to the Amazon rainforest. How about an air plant in your kitchen? Looking for an indoor flowering plant to add color to your plant palette? Bloomers has a large revolving assortment of flowering beauties. From aglaonemas to ZZ plants, Bloomers Greenhouse is stocked with your next favorite indoor plant. Bloomers carries a large selection of pottery and containers to match your home's decor and make any of your plants more beautiful. Bloomers experts can help you care for your plants and have the fertilizer, insecticides, leaf shine, and specialty soils you need to grow healthy and happy indoor plants. Visit Bloomer's Home and Garden Center's greenhouse and make every room in your home a living room. Visit bloomers.com for more information. That's bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
Folks, we are back, and poinsettia, should it stay or should it go, Len? I still have mine in my kitchen.
You do?
Yes, it looks
And
wonderful.
What size poinsettia do you have?
It's about an 8-inch.
8-inch? So 8-inch pot?
Yeah.
So it's pretty big.
Yeah, it is. Pretty big.
Wow. Julio's holding up his hands. That's about 2.5 foot apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice. My neighbor gave it to me.
Yeah, very nice.
She does every year. She's wonderful. Sylvia, thank you very much.
Sylvia, that's it.
Yeah.
Keep the green going.
Keep the green going, yes.
You know, I think the key to poinsettia from here on out is first of all, you have to decide, do you want to continue to take care of it?
Right.
We talk about euthanizing plants,
Yeah,
that
we
it's
do,
okay. Remember, they're plants, not puppies.
That's right.
But do you want to take care of it? And I know that I have several poinsettias,
You do?
and they look good. So
Look
I'm
good?
going to continue to take care of them,
Yeah.
and until they don't look good.
That's right.
But I think that when they get to that point, you need to decide. It's like, all right, well, I'm not going to think of this as a poinsettia anymore. I'm going to think of it as a houseplant.
Right.
You know, it's not a holiday
Not
plant.
a holiday anymore, right?
It's not a holiday
It's changed the
plant.
identity.
It's true, because they do start looking different. They get a little bit leggy,
Yeah,
right? And they're just not as attractive as they once were, although the bracts may still have color.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but we go to your mom all the time about how she used to put them outside.
That's right.
Would she just let them get ugly in the house? And what would she do?
let it get ugly. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, she'd put it out. She took care of it the whole way.
Would it continue to have the bracts and flowers on it?
No, well, a lot of the leaves would, fall.
Right, but the leaves would fall off, but it would still keep a crown of flowers?
Crowns, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And would she try to make it better, or she would just let it get ugly looking?
No, she'd let it get ugly.
All right.
Yeah, because she knew she was going to put it out, and it, would continue to grow.
So with the intent, so it became this holiday plant that was flowering beautiful. Now all of a sudden became a seedling that she was going to plant outside.
Yeah. And she loved that.
See, and that's where the trick is start thinking of it as a different plant. Don't think of it as that beautiful poinsettia
like
that you
you're
got
saying, Len, my mom loved to take care of plants.
Okay.
So if that's in your mindset to take care of it, you're going to take care of it all the way through.
Maybe.
And that's what she did, all the way through, taking care of it.
Wow. All right. So that's good. Better her than me.
I know.
Because what will happen is that all those leaves, like you said, they're going to need to be pulled. They're going to turn yellow, and they need to be pulled out. And most of the time, they'll keep those flowers on for quite a while, at least through the beginning of February. Almost all of January.
So you would call that dormancy period?
No, because they don't really go dormant per se. No, they just, what's happened is that they need a little more sunlight than they're getting.
Right.
And so what they do is that they'll go in those yellow leaves that you're pulling out, that it's just, they're not producing any food, so they're just wasting away on the plant. But again, it's going to get ugly like that. It's going to get ugly.
Part of the plant's living process, I guess. Is that what you call it?
That's a very fancy way of saying it.
Yeah.
It's, or the whole idea, the right plant in the right spot where it maybe needed more sun than it was getting. And again, we talk about poinsettias. The amount of sunlight that they need is enough sunlight to naturally be able to read a newspaper comfortably by, and then that's a good amount of light.
So in my kitchen, it doesn't have much sunlight, so it's going to struggle. I should move it maybe to an area where there's more sunlight.
Well, has it begun to drop any leaves yet?
No.
No? Maybe it likes where it is.
Maybe it does, huh?
Maybe. Maybe.
How about that?
One thing to think of, too, is is it taking up the space, where you enjoy having a plant there,
right?
But not necessarily poinsettia. So maybe it's taking up the space of something else you might like.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Now that is definitely a possibility in my case, where
right.
I have that planter box I've talked about so often, where there's about 6 poinsettias in burgundy in there, and they're very pretty and they're beautiful right now.
Sure.
But I'm going to want to replace them with something, and that to me is a revolving spot. I had aglaonemas there for a very long time, and that they did great, almost too good, because I wanted it to be a revolving color spot. So, like right now, the poinsettias look great.
Okay.
What I'd like to maybe do is say put cyclamen there.
Oh, okay.
So then the pretty flowers of the cyclamen and those different pastel colors,
right.
And it's got a really nice feel to it. It's almost an orchidy type flower, very beautiful.
So what you're saying is you like that to be popping for like every time you're looking at it.
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm never happier than when I go rotate from the cyclamen to hydrangeas, and I put like 3 or 4, it's probably 4 hydrangeas in there, and I've got these beautiful blue hydrangeas in there, and that as long as I can remember to keep them watered, they hold up for quite a long time. Yeah. So I can go from Easter, depending on when it is. So let's say we're talking about March. I can go through March into almost June.
Okay, March.
With those hydrangeas.
3 months. Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It and again, almost June. So
almost.
I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Give or take.
At least 2 months.
Wow, that's great.
At least 2 months, and it's because they're getting watered, and the hydrangeas naturally like a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
So. It's a good spot, but keeping them watered is a challenge.
There you go.
But then, say you want a typical foliage plant. Like I said, those aglaonemas were there for years.
Wow.
Years. And I still have one. It's probably almost 4 years old.
4 years, huh?
The aglaonema that was in those. It's a little leggy.
Yeah.
And that what I need to do is it's real stretched. I'm going to cut them back in the spring.
Okay.
I wouldn't suggest doing it now.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest doing it now.
Okay.
But I think that you should put in a new house plant.
Right.
Where if you've had a poinsettia, don't just throw out the poinsettia. Get a replacement.
Yeah, get
put something else in there.
Yeah.
There's so many different types of houseplants, and that on next week's show we're going to devote it all about decorating with houseplants and using houseplants and caring for houseplants. So think about it. Think about it. So don't just throw out your poinsettia.
No,
replace it with a houseplant.
Yep. There you go.
It's a good thing for you.
It is good for you.
All right. We're up to another break.
Beautiful.
We'll be right back right after this.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomers Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel-Proof feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomers Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomers Blend. Bloomers Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomers Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomers Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomers Blend Songbird Magnet Mix. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Well, not only is there fresh trees, but there are artificial trees.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, here's a question for everybody out there. If you have an artificial tree, has the age and the wear of your artificial tree, is it so old that it's starting to take away from the decoration and the ornaments that you put on it?
It can, right?
Oh, my gosh. It can. There are some bad ones out there.
I'm sure there are.
The modern artificial Christmas tree looks so lifelike, and that they are just so much better than they have been.
Oh, much better.
And again, it used to be where they now have they're using different things like polyethylene, and they're using PVC, and that it's a combination so that you get a different depth of texture than you used to be able to get.
Oh, yeah. Can I tell you something, Len?
Tell me.
When I was younger, my dad, I think, must have brought the first one out there. It was a white one. Right?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if that's what it was meant.
Years later, it turned yellowish. It was like, oh, my goodness.
You're not supposed to put water in the stand. It was a little rusty.
That's what happens.
Well, you know what? There couldn't be a better time to shop for a new tree.
Yes.
Discounts up to 75% off.
Oh, boy.
But you know it helps. I mean, the trees that we got this year were all high tech.
High tech, yeah.
LED lights.
Yep.
You can control your light. You can have a light show with the LED lights by an app that was on your phone. So you would go and you would set it up, and you could have the lights in different colors and different patterns, and you could create custom shows. And Sandy was talking about how her favorite was the fireworks one, where it would go and it would go up the tree, and then as it came down the tree, it would twinkle down the tree to the bottom. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And that you could do different colors. Like you could have a rainbow colored tree. Wow. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Bring the show in, right? Bring your friends.
I mean, consider upgrading just because of the tech.
That's right.
My favorite was that we had a tree that was on wheels.
Okay.
I like that already.
Yeah, you like that.
Because now I can move it around the house. I don't have to pick it up and move it. But it also, if I wanted it in one room, like say you have a room that's just standard ceilings, 8-foot ceilings, like you could have this tree like a 7-foot, anywhere actually smaller, 6.5 foot.
6, wow.
But you wanted it bigger the next year. You wanted a bigger tree, that this thing would grow to 9 foot. So if you had higher ceilings in a different room, you press a button and it expands from the bottom and just keeps growing and keeps growing. And it stayed so full because of the way that the foliage on the tree was designed and made. I mean, it was an incredible thing to see, where all of a sudden you have this expanding tree going from 6.5 foot to 9 foot just with the press of a button.
Oh, boy.
And again, on wheels, so it was easy to move around, and also it came with its own storage containment, and that you could put it away, and that to me was
that is amazing.
That was the best tree going.
How about that?
And again, LED lights. If you wanted to have white lights, you could have white lights or colored lights or multicolor. You could have it any color you wanted.
Look at that.
And that's what you get with LEDs.
Right. So these trees have really changed in these few years now.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So consider getting rid of that, get rid of that artificial.
That old one you had for ages.
But then again, it's what do you do with it?
Right.
What I would do is donate it Donate it. Bring it to, Goodwill. Let them decide, because a lot of times that if they've got some things that they know that they aren't going to be able to sell, that they'll recycle it, and that maybe they can make some money from the recycler.
That's good.
So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, just don't throw it out.
What really keeps a tree nice, it's all about how you pack it away.
Yes.
Consider this. When you go to set up your tree, you go and you fluff it.
Right.
So you manipulate the branches to make it look full, and you gently open it up. But if you're just shoving it in a box, husbands out there, I'm talking directly to you.
There you go.
If you just shove it in a box or into a bag, it's never going to store right.
No,
so you got to almost defluff it.
Defluff it, yeah.
Defluff it so that it will store better. So that way you're taking it out of the box or the bag next year in a way that's going to be still nice. Sure. If you're just shoving it in there, it's not going to be good because it will crush the foliage, and that's what you're trying to. That's what makes it stay nice.
Right.
So and also don't try to get it in the original box if you can't. Just get a second box to put it in.
Box.
I
think what my dad did way back was threw out the box and he just put the tree up.
That's why it was yellow.
That's why it was yellow. Yeah.
But
don't
now,
throw out the box.
But now, it's. Yeah. I like boxes just because that there's airspace that's in there and that it can stay. That you can fit the tree in the box.
Sure.
Bags have a tendency to crush it when you lift it up, but they still work. Just make sure you get the right size.
So the box is better, huh?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
And again, going back to modern trees, there's something called pole connect.
Pole connects. Yeah.
So where you take the pole and you put the tree, the top of the tree or the middle of the tree into one section, that's where it electrifies from. It's not where you have to plug in every single, light that's on the tree. All you do is just bloop, you just put it on, and then the top section, and that's where it's electrified from. It's not where you have to deal with that every single light, that's that set. This set's not on. Go out and get a new tree.
There you go.
You can't find a better deal than now.
Right now is a great time, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, you can use that other tree as a secondary tree. Or also, if that tree's not looking so good, hey, go fresh.
Yeah, go fresh.
The Pennsylvania Christmas Tree Growers Association has talked about how fresh trees are actually less impact to the environment than artificial trees.
That's correct. Yeah.
So we're not going to get into that argument today, but it is just simply because you think of how they're disposed of, how they're made. Environmentally, you are talking about plastics. and metallic metal pieces, things like that.
Time.
Especially if you buy a white tree like Julio said.
That's right.
But anyway, just think about it. Right now, get out there, and decide. It's time to get a new tree, and this is the time to get it because you could never buy it for the prices that they're going for now.
Yeah, they're giving them away.
All right. Next, we're going to be talking about those other decorations that you have and what to do with them. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Does your garden have planting insurance? It can now with Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma. It's the ultimate starter plant food. The secret is a special blend of natural organic plant food, beneficial microbes, and mycorrhizal fungi. The result? Plants grow faster, roots grow deeper, flowers and vegetables flourish. Best of all, every Espoma product is safe for people, pets, and the planet. Visit espoma.com for a retailer near you. Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929. Your next houseplant is waiting for you in Bloomer's Home and Garden Center's greenhouse. Bloomers recognizes that houseplant choices are as important to your interior decorating as the fabric on your couch. The right plant, paired with the perfect container, can bring a dynamic change to your home. A houseplant brings life to your world and connects your home's interior to the greater outdoors. Even a small succulent placed on your coffee table has a way of connecting your living room to the Amazon rainforest. How about an air plant in your kitchen? Looking for an indoor flowering plant to add color to your plant palette? Bloomers has a large revolving assortment of flowering beauties. From aglaonemas to ZZ plants, Bloomer's Greenhouse is stocked with your next favorite indoor plant. Bloomer's carries a large selection of pottery and containers to match your home's decor and make any of your plants more beautiful. Bloomer's experts can help you care for your plants and have the fertilizer, insecticides, leaf shine, and specialty soils you need to grow healthy and happy indoor plants. Visit Bloomer's Home and Garden Center's greenhouse and make every room in your home a living room. Visit bloomers.com for more information. That's bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
All right, we are back. And are you wondering what to do about those other Christmas decorations?
Are you de-Christmased yet?
I am almost there.
Yeah?
Yes.
Impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Impressive.
I'm cleaning up my house.
Yeah. I haven't even started.
Oh, I know you. Well, you haven't been well.
Yeah. Well, I've had a cold. You can hear it out there. I'm feeling better than I was. That's for sure.
That's good.
So there's Christmas.
Yes.
All right. Here, I'll ask you a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
If I have a tablecloth,
right,
and it has snowmen on it,
okay,
is it okay to leave up and leave on my table?
I think you can go a little bit more.
Okay.
Still early, because January 6th is the wise men in my family. And
so if I have Cubans over, I'm good.
That's right. So in my situation, yes, but maybe not in your situation.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's snowmen, not wise men.
Oh, okay.
So if I have snowmen, so if I have a snowman tablecloth,
right,
and it's February, is that
I think
taboo or is that okay?
I think that's okay.
Well, there you go.
I think that's okay.
Like icicles.
Right.
That's not necessarily Christmas.
No.
It's winter.
It's winter, yes.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. You've heard it here, everyone. Julio is good with a tablecloth with snowmen in February.
Yes.
And see, that's the thing. If I have a wreath on my door that is made, it's a fresh wreath. And it looks great, by the way, because I did spray that with Wilt Stop.
Yes.
And it looks tremendous. It looks tremendous. And it's magnolia and it's Fraser. And it is a fresh wreath with a beautiful red bow.
Okay.
But no decorations that say it's all natural. And it doesn't say Christmas.
It doesn't say Christmas.
It says winter.
Aha, look at that.
Leave it up?
Leave it up. I would.
I'll tell you what. It's a beautiful wreath. It doesn't have that Christmassy, like Santa Clauses and elves or anything else like that on it. So I'm leaving it up.
That's right.
And so any of your decorations that you have around, consider that, all right, what is, not overtly Christmas. And you can leave some of those up.
You can.
And then the other stuff, decide when it's time to go.
Santa Claus stuff.
So what do you think's due date for getting rid of your Christmas decorations?
You can do it now. I mean,
pure Christmas. I think so.
I think you get rid of it now.
If you go, well, this is just me talking, and then ladies may disagree, but I think if you're that week of New Year's, you better have them down by the time that week turns to the next.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm with you there, Julio.
Yeah,
but
after
the Christmassy things, you can they need to go. But winter is a different. It's a celebration of the season, not Christmas, the holy day.
That's right.
Okay,
I'm with you there.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
We agree.
All right. Hey, drop the mic. We're gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, but here's one thing: is everybody they spend a lot of money on bows.
Oh yes,
we make a tremendous amount of bows at Bloomers, and you need to be careful about packing those bows away. one thing to do is first of all, most of those bows are wired on.
Right.
They aren't necessarily hot glued on.
No.
So what you want to do is unwire it from the back. And then if there happens to be some glue there, you're going to pull those off. Mm-hmm. But you're going to want to straighten the ribbon and that fabric. Mm-hmm. But you just want to be careful not to crease it in the loops of the bow. Mm-hmm. I've seen some people, and I'm laughing only because it's pretty extreme, taking toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls and putting them in the loop of the bow so that it doesn't get that funky crease if it's in a box and the box gets crushed down, that it holds its shape.
Softens it up.
Yeah. To me, to use a paper ball, it's the same thing. It has a little bit of elasticity to it, but you want to make sure that those bows are saved by not making them creased and wrinkled.
Yeah, they'll look terrible.
Yeah, you want to be careful. So
be careful.
Take your time on the wreaths out front or the ones in your house. You want to make sure that those bows are taken care of. Mm-hmm. It's all about not putting a crease
on that.
Right. Non-creased pants. Do you have any non-creased pants? I guess blue jeans are non-creased pants. Right. Anyway, and again, putting something in the loops that holds them in place so that they don't get folded.
Right. Do you put them in a box, or do you just leave them?
Yeah, no, they go in the box. I mean, I'm a guy. I throw everything in the box.
Everything's in the box.
Yeah. Except my daughter said, "You got to save the pickle ornaments."
Oh boy,
we don't want to look around for the pickle ornaments.
Pickle ornaments.
Anyway, but I'll tell you what, it's never too soon to start thinking about next year.
It is.
Start thinking themes and let's go shopping.
That's right. Oh,
there's never better deals than there are right now. I mean, your trim and tree shops like at Bloomers. I mean, we're 60% off everything. Everything. We don't want to store it.
No,
we don't want to store it. So come and see us and take our inventory. Take advantage of us. We know. I mean, at 60 off, they're incredible deals. But
and that way, next year you don't have to go out shopping.
Right. And your stuff's ready and you've also start on your themes.
That's right.
That's the way it works in our industry. We're already starting to think of next year's themes.
Yes, we are.
Ugh.
Can you believe that?
I don't even want to think about it.
You want to take a little break?
Yeah, I want to take a little break. But I'm sure Sandy's ruminating. It was like, well, this worked. This didn't work. How about this work? Now that tree, that psycho tree that you can control with your phone, I mean, we can do so many things. Anyway, all right. So get out there, get shopping.
Yeah, get shopping.
Make sure you're putting your stuff away carefully.
Nicely, yes.
And anything that has got a winter theme. Leave it up.
Yep.
Leave it up for a while.
Yep. Keep it.
You're good. All right. We're going to be right back right after this. Your next houseplant is waiting for you in Bloomer's Home and Garden Center's greenhouse. Bloomer's recognizes that houseplant choices are as important to your interior decorating as the fabric on your couch. The right plant, paired with the perfect container, can bring a dynamic change to your home. A houseplant brings life to your world and connects your home's interior to the greater outdoors. Even a small succulent placed on your coffee table has a way of connecting your living room to the Amazon rainforest. How about an air plant in your kitchen? Looking for an indoor flowering plant to add color to your plant palette? Bloomers has a large revolving assortment of flowering beauties. From aglaonemas to ZZ plants, Bloomers Greenhouse is stocked with your next favorite indoor plant. Bloomers carries a large selection of pottery and containers to match your home's decor and make any of your plants more beautiful. Bloomers experts can help you care for your plants and have the fertilizer, insecticides, leaf shine, and specialty soils you need to grow healthy and happy indoor plants. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center's greenhouse and make every room in your home a living room. Visit bloomers.com for more information. That's bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
Did you know that soil composition is an important factor in determining long-term life for succulents? As a rule, succulents prefer well-draining soil that holds a little moisture and nutrients with a mid-range pH. Fertilome succulent soil accomplishes all these goals. This Canadian sphagnum peat moss and the echo peat will support the plant physically in its pot, yet allow the water to drain. Echo peat is a natural fiber from the peat bogs, which provides excellent aeration and appropriate moisture-holding properties. The addition of horticultural perlite aids in the aeration process and helps slowly dry out the peat. Both calcitic and dolomitic limestone keep the pH in an ideal spot for the plants to take in the necessary nutrients. So the next time you visit your favorite independent family-owned garden center, ask for the succulent soil by Fertilome. Your plants will be glad you did. Available at
The Flower Station, 3500 Philmont Avenue, Huntington Valley, PA.
See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Well, Julio, down by the schoolyard, you going to come and help me take out my Christmas tree?
No.
No. Oh, what a nice friend you are.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's pretty dead.
Well, I've got to take all that stuff down, and sometimes it's a labor, and sometimes that, like that artificial Christmas tree should go right out in the trash.
That's right, you should.
Well, listen, on next week's show, we're going to be talking all about indoor plants.
We'll talk about the use of houseplants as decorating items.
We're going to talk about what types of plants to buy for what room.
Hey, next time you visit your favorite garden center, greenhouse, or even botanical garden, tell them you listen to Bloomers in the Garden.
Thank you, producer extraordinaire, Brett Kronberger.
Thank you, Brett. You're the best.
We'll see you next week in the garden.
See you in the garden.